So what is the minerals? Minerals are inorganic elements needed by the body for the following functions. Okay, they are the inorganic elements and they are needed by the body for the following functions like build the tissue. Okay, so for building or the formation of the new cells and tissue we require the minerals, as well as it is required to regulate the body fluids. Okay, so a human body is made up of a 90% of the fluids. Okay, and in that water, in the fluids, there will be a presence of the minerals like sodium, potassium, chloride, then calcium. Okay, so these all are the electrolytes, or we can say the minerals, and these minerals are essential to have the normal balance of the fluid in the body. Next is it assists in the body function. Okay, so to have the normal functions for the normal cardiac pumping, for carbon dioxide and oxygen exchange in the lungs, for the kidney filtration, we require the minerals. If there is a deficiency of any minerals in our body, that may lead to the disturbance of the particular organ functions. And it helps to form the body structure. Okay, so for the formation of the new body structures, we require the minerals. In the example of this, we can take the calcium. Okay, so calcium is necessary for the formation of the bones as well as the teeth. Yes. Iron. Okay, so iron is there for the formation of the hemoglobin or the red blood cells. So each and every minerals are necessary for the formation of the new and different structures in our body. So they are the inorganic materials, inorganic substance, and required for this 4 kind of functions in our body. Next is the types of minerals. So there are 2 types of minerals are present in the food. One is a macro minerals and another one is a micro minerals. So macro minerals and the micro minerals. So which minerals are coming in these 2 categories? We'll see. First is a macro minerals. Okay, so macro minerals are also known as a major minerals. Okay, because they are very important for our bodily functions. Okay, and why they have given the name macro? Macro, that means large, because they are required in a larger amount in a comparison with the micronutrients. That's why they have mentioned it is a macro minerals. They are needed in an amount greater than 100 milligrams per day. Okay. So we require macro minerals more than 100 milligrams per day because it is required in a greater amount. So that's why it is known as a macro minerals. So here are the examples of the macro minerals like calcium, then phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, chloride, sodium, and the sulfur. So these 7 are known as a macro minerals. So here you can see the types of macro minerals which are also known as the major minerals and required in a greater than 100 milligrams per day. So these all are the macro minerals like phosphorus, calcium, chloride, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, and the sodium. So these 7 are the macro minerals. Now we will see the another types of minerals that is known as the micro minerals. Okay, micro minerals, that means smaller amount. So this type of minerals, micro minerals, are required in a less quantity in a comparison with the macro minerals. They are also known as a trace minerals because we are required in it is very rarely or in a small amount. They are required in the diet in amounts lesser than 100 milligrams per day. Okay, we have seen macro minerals required in a greater than 100 milligrams per day, whereas micro minerals are required less than 100 mg per day, and they are known as a trace elements, whereas the macro minerals are known as a major minerals or major elements. So there are 11 types of micro minerals present in the food like iron, zinc, copper, selenium, iodine, chromium, fluorine, cobalt, molybdenum, boron, and the manganese. So these are the 11 types of the micro minerals. So there are 2 types of minerals, macro and the micro. Macro minerals are having 7 types, whereas micro minerals are having 11 types. So first we will start with the calcium. Okay, calcium is one of the macro minerals. So calcium is known as a Ca2+. We will see the food sources of calcium. So calcium is we are getting from the dairy products. Okay, richest source of calcium is from the dairy products like milk, cheese, sardines, salmon, and some of the dark green leafy vegetables. Okay, so these all are the food sources of the calcium. Now we will see what is the function of calcium. So calcium is mainly required for the growth and development for the bones and the teeth. So first function of calcium is the development of bones and the teeth. Next function is for the transmission of the nerve impulses. Okay, so to transmit the electrical signals from one organ to the brain, we require the calcium. If there is a deficiency in a calcium, it may lead to the disturbance in the electrical impulses transmission. It is also required for the blood clotting factors. Whenever the person is getting injured, so for the normal blood coagulation, we require the calcium. It is also required for the normal heart action. For the normal heart functions, we require calcium, and for the normal muscles activity. So these are the function of calcium. Now we will see the deficiency and toxicity. If there is a less amount of calcium intake in any person, so what kind of problems may arise? So first one is osteoporosis. Okay, it is a disorder of bones. Osteomalacia, it is also disorder of the bones. Rickets, it is also disorder of the bones. It is occur because of the deficiency of vitamin D. Okay, why there is a deficiency of vitamin D? Because if there is a deficiency of calcium in the body, deficiency of D in the body, what happens? There will be a no proper absorption of calcium take place in the body. Okay, so if there is a no absorption of calcium, it may lead to the rickets, and rickets is especially occurring in the children's. Next is a tetany, then retarded growth, and poor tooth and the bone formation. Okay, so the disease occur because of the calcium deficiency are mainly the bones disorders. Okay, like osteoporosis, that means softening or the porous bones may become. Osteomalacia, rickets, then tetany, retarded growth and development, and poor tooth and the bone formation. So here you can see the function of calcium for the heart. So you can see over here, interaction between calcium and pumping machineries of the heart to allow its movement. Okay, calcium moves into the cells and contribute to electrical activity in a heart muscle cell. Okay, so what happens? Whatever calcium is present in the blood, they are entering into the muscles and contributing the functioning of the heart muscles for the normal cardiac functioning. Now what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis means porous bones. Okay, you can see over here, this is the normal bone and this is the bone of person with the osteoporosis. So you can see over here, the bones of the normal bones are look like this. But when there is a deficiency of calcium and the person may having the osteoporosis, there will be a more pores occur in the bone. So here you can see the picture. This is the normal bone structure and this is the bone of the osteoporosis. There is a porous bone. What is the porous bone? Porous bone is characterized by low bone density or mass, reduced amount of bone tissue and fragile bones. Okay, so like this pores formation occur in the bones, and because of the excessive pores, the bones are become very fragile. It is easily breakable. So this is the osteoporosis. Now the rickets. Rickets is occur because of the deficiency of vitamin D. Vitamin D is necessary for the absorption of the calcium. Okay, but if there is a lack vitamin D, there will be no proper absorption of the calcium take place. So because of that reason, there will be a chances, especially in the small children, to have the rickets. So what is rickets? Rickets is a softening of the bones in a children's, potentially leading to the fractures and the deformity. If the bones are soft, they are easily breakable. So there are higher chances of getting the fractures as well as the deformity of the bones. So you can see the picture, the child with the rickets. So in the rickets, the extremities, especially the lower extremities, are become bent. Okay, and the bow-like legs occur. Why this kind of things happen? Because the bones are become soft, and the whole body weight is coming in the lower extremities, and because of that reason, this bow-like structure or bow-leg is occur. Next is the osteomalacia. So what is that? It is bone lose calcium and become softer and may deform. Okay, so in this condition, what happens? There will be a loss of calcium from the bones. Okay, so if there is no calcium in the bones, bones are become very fragile, very soft, and may lead to the deformities. This is a picture of tetany. Okay, it is also occur because of the deficiency of calcium. So it is an involuntary contraction of the muscles. So you can see the twisting movement of the hands. Okay, so it is occur because of the involuntary contraction of the muscles in the extremities. Next mineral is phosphorus. It is also known as a P. P is for the phosphorus. What all are the food sources of phosphorus? So phosphorus is we are getting from the milk, cheese, lean meat, then from the poultry products, fish, whole grain cereals, legumes and the nuts. So these all are the food sources of the phosphorus. Now phosphorus functions. So phosphorus is also necessary for the development of the bones and the teeth. Okay, so bones, if you are taking the microscopic examination of the bones, bones are made up of the calcium and phosphorus. Okay, so calcium and phosphorus both are essential for the formation of the bones as well as the teeth. Moreover, it also maintains the normal pH of the blood, the constitute of the all body cells. Okay, for the formation of the all the cells of the body, it is a main component of the every cells of the body, and it is also required for the carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. For the digestion of this macronutrient, we require the phosphorus. Now the deficiency or toxicity. So if there is a deficiency or excessive intake of phosphorus, it may lead to the poor tooth and the bone formation. Okay, next it may also lead to the weakness, anorexia, it means loss of appetite, and the general malaise, that means weakness. So these all are the complications occur because of the deficiency or the toxicity of the phosphorus. So here is a pictorial diagram of the functions of phosphorus. First, it is related to the bones and teeth, forms and keeps strong bones and the teeth. Okay, so to provide the strength in the bones and teeth, we require the phosphorus. It helps to maintain our energy level. Okay, so it boosts the stamina power. Forms our genetic material DNA and RNA. Okay, so for the formation of the DNA and RNA, there is a genetic substance, genetic material. So for formation of such kind of genetic material, we require the phosphorus. It helps to form the membranes of our cell. Okay, so in each and every organ there will be a membranes, in the mouth, in the stomach. Okay, so to form the mucous membrane we require the phosphorus. Keeps the healthy functions of our brain and the nervous system. Okay, so for the healthy brain and nervous system, phosphorus is required. Help to maintain normal acid-base balance, that means pH balance in the blood, and help the oxygen delivery in the body. So these all are the functions of phosphorus. So you can see over here the functions of calcium and phosphorus in the bones. Okay, so bone composition. All things composed of elements, phosphate, that phosphorus containing molecules, 99% of the body stores, mostly collagen and other molecules, contain over 99% of the body calcium. Okay, so you can see over here, calcium is required in a larger amount for the formation of the bones, whereas phosphate is required 70% in the formation of the bones, and 33% are other things that are required for the bone and teeth formation. Next mineral is the potassium. Potassium is known as a K+. Now the food sources of potassium. Potassium we are getting from orange, bananas, dried fruits, vegetables, legumes, milk, cereals and the meat. These all are the food sources of the potassium. Now the functions. So it is required for the contraction of the muscles, especially in the heart. For the normal cardiac pumping we require the potassium for the normal contraction of the heart muscles. Moreover, it is also required for the maintenance of the fluid balance, transmission of the nerve impulses in the body, regular heart rhythm and the cellular metabolism. Okay, so these all are the functions of potassium in the body. If there is a deficiency of potassium in our body, it may lead to the hypokalemia. Okay, hypokalemia, that means less amount of potassium in the body. So normal potassium required by our body is from 3.5 to 4.5 milli equivalent per liter. Okay, if there is a less than 3.5 milli equivalent per liter potassium is there in our body, it may lead to the hypokalemia. Next is muscles weakness, confusion and abnormal heartbeat. These all are occur because of the deficiency. Now the toxicity. If there is a excessive amount of potassium in the body, it may lead to the hyperkalemia. That means the level of potassium is more than 4.5 milli equivalent per liter. If there is a more than 4.5, that is known as a hyperkalemia. And it may lead to the life-threatening condition and irregular heartbeat. So these all are the symptoms of toxicity, that means excessive amount of potassium in the body. Now the functions of potassium. So first, help our cell uptake nutrients and the water. Okay, the potassium is helping to cell to absorb the nutrients and water from the blood. Help our muscles contraction, okay, especially the heart. Help our nerves carry message between the brain and the body. So it is also required to transmission for the electrical signals from one organ to the brain. Balance our body's fluid and regulate the blood pressure. It is required to maintain the fluid and electrolyte balance in the body and help our body digest the foods. So these all are the functions of potassium in our body. Next is the sodium. Sodium is known as Na+. So the richest source of sodium is the salt. From the salt we are getting the sodium as well as the chloride. So the food sources of calcium is table salt, beef, eggs, poultry products, milk, cheese and soya sauce. Okay, so these all are the sources of the sodium. Moreover, moderate amount of sodium is present in the breads and the vegetables, and large amount of sodium we are getting from the processed foods like chips. Okay, by the processed food, by having the different kind of milk, different kind of chips and snacks, we are getting the sodium in a higher amount. So this is a small amount. By having this food, we are getting the small amount of sodium. This is the medium amount of sodium we are getting from the breads and the vegetables, and large amount of sodium we are getting from the processed food. Now the functions of sodium. So sodium is required for the maintenance of the body fluid. Okay, to maintain the normal fluid balance in the body, we require the sodium. It is also required for the transmission of the nerve impulses from one organ to the brain. It maintains the acid-base balance in the body, and it is required for the muscles contractions. Now we will see the deficiency and toxicity of the sodium. So first we will see about the deficiency. So if there is a deficiency of sodium, it may lead to the nausea, exhaustion and the muscles cramp. If you are taking higher amount of sodium, it may lead to the hypertension and the edema. So you have heard sometimes that the person who are having the high blood pressure or having the hypertension, so doctor advise to have the salt restricted diet or the limited salt diet to the person with the hypertension. So you can see the picture. This is the edema. Edema, that means accumulation of the fluid around the cells. Okay, so this is the fluid particles around the cells. Next mineral is chloride. Chloride is known as a Cl-. Food sources of chloride. Chloride is we are getting from the table salt, eggs, seafood and the milk. So there are 4 sources of the chloride. Next is the functions of chloride. So first is for the gastric acidity. Okay, so why it is necessary for the gastric acidity? Because you may know the name HCl, hydrochloric acid. So in that, hydrochloric acid is only releasing in the stomach. Okay, whenever you are having any kind of food, it may lead to the esophagus and then after into the stomach. When the food bowels reach in the stomach, there will be a secretion of the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, and that leads to the digestion in the stomach. So the chloride is present in the acid also, which is there in the form of hydrochloric acid. So by means of that, it is required to have the gastric acidity in the stomach. Moreover, it is regulate the acid-base balance in the body, maintain the fluid and electrolyte balance, and formation of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, we have discussed over here. Okay, chloride is there in the hydrochloric acid. So for the formation of this HCl acid, we require the chloride. Now the deficiency or toxicity. So if there is a deficiency of chloride, it may lead to the imbalance in the gastric acidity, or there will be a disturbance in the gastric acidity. It may also lead to the imbalance in the blood pH level, nausea and the exhaustion. Okay, so these are the symptoms of deficiency or the toxicity of the chloride in the body. Next mineral is a magnesium. Magnesium is known as a Mg2+. Okay, so the sources of magnesium is the green leafy vegetables, whole grains, avocados, nuts, milk, legumes, bananas, nuts, seafood, chocolate and cocoa. These all are the food sources of the magnesium. Magnesium is very important for the nerve transmission. Okay, so to pass the electrical impulses from one organ to the brain, it is very important to have the sufficient amount of magnesium. It also required for the activation of the metabolic enzymes. So for the digestion process, different kind of enzymes are secreted like lipase, okay, amylase. Okay, these all are the enzymes are required for the digestion purpose. So for the activation of particular enzyme for the metabolism process, we require the magnesium. It is also required to have the normal muscles activity. It is also one of the constituent of the bones, muscles and the red blood cells. Now the deficiency and toxicity. So normally unknown. So still we have not get the idea what all are the symptoms or complication occur because of the deficiency of the magnesium in the body. But some of are, sometimes it may lead to the mental, emotional and the muscles disorders. So up till now we have discussed about the macro minerals, okay, major minerals. Now we discussed about the trace minerals, or we can say the micro minerals. They are required in a small amount, less than 100 mg. Okay, less than 100 mg we require per day. So first trace mineral is iron. Iron is known as a Fe. So source of iron is muscle meat, poultry products, shellfish, liver, legumes, dried fruits, whole grains or enriched breads and cereals, dark green and leafy vegetables and molasses. These all are the sources of the iron. Now the function. So it is required for the transportation of oxygen and the carbon dioxide, formation of the hemoglobin and the component of the cellular enzyme essential for the energy production. So the main function of the iron is for the formation of the hemoglobin. If in your body there is a less iron, it may lead to the hemoglobin deficiency and the anemia. Now the deficiency of iron may directly lead to the iron deficiency anemia. This kind of anemia is occur because of the less amount of red blood cells or the hemoglobin in the blood because of the deficiency of the iron. So you can see and differentiate what is the anemia. Yes, so this is the normal blood sample or the microscopic examination of the blood. Normal amount of red blood cells. And the person who are having the iron deficiency or having the anemia, in that you will see the blood or red blood cells like this. These are the less amount and these are the larger amount. So there will be a less amount of RBCs, or we can say the hemoglobin in the blood. It is known as a anemia. What are the symptoms of anemia? If there is a less amount of blood in your body, it may lead to the weakness or fatigue, dizziness, the person will feel the vertigo or giddiness, loss of weight, pallor, the skin color will become the pale, coldness of hands and the feet. So extremities are become cold because of the deficiency of the red blood cells. Next trace element is iodine. Iodine is known as a I-. So the main and one of the source of iodine is iodized salt and the seafood. The functions of iodine. So iodine is required for the regulation of the basal metabolic rate. So to have the normal BMR, we require the iodine. And if there is a deficiency of iodine in our body, it may lead to the goiter, cretinism and the myxedema. So this is the picture with the goiter, enlargement of the thyroid gland. Okay, this is the myxedema. Myxedema is especially occurring into the lower extremities. Okay, enlargement or accumulation of the fluid in the lower extremities. And this is the picture with the cretinism, retarded growth in the cretinism. Next micro mineral is a zinc. it is known as a Zn plus. The food sources of zinc are seafood, especially oysters, liver, eggs, milk, wheat bran, and the legumes. These all are the food sources of the zinc. The function of zinc is required for the formation of the collagen. Okay, collagen is one type of protein present in the integumentary system and in the bones. So for the formation of the collagen, we require the zinc. It is also helping in the wound healing and taste as acuity, essential for the normal taste function, whatever we are eating. Yes, the sour taste, sweet taste, bitter taste. So for the identifying the taste, we are required the zinc. For the growth and for the immune reaction. So these all are the functions of zinc. Now the deficiency or toxicity. So the deficiency of zinc may lead to the dwarfism, anemia, loss of appetite, that means anorexia, skin changes in the integumentary system, impaired wound healing, and decrease the taste acuity. Okay, decrease the capacity to identify the particular taste. So you can see the picture of dwarfism. Okay, dwarfism in that the height is restricted. There will be no development occur in the height. It is also necessary for the normal skin. Okay, but if there is a deficiency of zinc, this kind of things or papules or blister may occur on the skin. Next is fluoride. Fluoride is also known as a F minus. So food sources of fluoride is getting fluoridated water and the seafood. Okay, if the person is consuming the water which is having the fluorine, okay, so that is one of the food sources. Now the function of fluoride. So fluoride is required. It is the increased resistance to tooth decay. Okay, so there will be a problem occur in a tooth decay, okay, or the dental caries, but it may increase the resistance to the tooth decay. It is required for the formation of the bones and the teeth, and it is an important component of the bones and the teeth. Now the deficiency of fluoride may lead to the tooth decay, possibly osteoporosis. Okay, so especially in the teeth, there will be a porous structure may occur in the teeth that may lead to the fragile teeth. Okay, so it may lead to the tooth decay, and the toxicity of fluoride may lead to the fluorosis. Fluorosis are having two types: dental fluorosis and the musculoskeletal fluorosis. Okay, that means a discoloration of teeth or the mottling. Okay, so some people are having the reddish or orange kind of teeth. Okay, that is occur because of the fluorosis, by consumption of the water which is containing more amount of fluoride. Because of consumption of the more fluoride water, the dental fluorosis may occur. So you can see the picture of dental fluorosis. You can see the teeth. There will be an orange or reddish color discoloration occur on the teeth, and if you are not treating that, your teeth may become irregular in the structures. Next is copper. Copper is known as a Cu. The food sources of copper is shellfish and the whole grains, legumes and the nuts. So these four are the food sources of the copper. What is the function of copper? So copper is required for the proper use of iron. Okay, if you are consuming iron, but for the proper use of the iron in our body, we require the copper. It is also required for the production of the connective tissue, blood vessels, and the melanin in the skin. Now the deficiency or toxicity of the copper. So the deficiency of copper may lead to the bone demineralization. Okay, there will be minerals present in the bones like calcium, phosphorus. Okay, but if there is a deficiency of copper in the blood, in the bones, it may lead to the release of calcium and phosphorus from the bones, and it may also lead to the defect in color and structure of the hair. Next is manganese. So manganese we are getting from the vegetable foods, especially the vegetables and fruits. The function of manganese is normal brain function, synthesis of urea, collagen, fatty acids and cholesterol in the body, and for the digestion of the protein. So these all are the functions of manganese in the body. Now if there is a deficiency of manganese in the body, it may lead to the problem with your central nervous system. Okay, it is required for the normal brain function. Yes, but if there is a deficiency of manganese, it may lead to the disturbance in the normal brain functions. Next trace mineral is a selenium. Selenium is known as Fe. We are getting selenium from the animal and the plant sources, and the function of selenium is protect the cell membrane against the oxidative damage. So selenium is also known as an anti-oxidative agent because it helping our cells and tissue, and it is protecting cells and tissue from the oxidative damage, and there is no deficiency or toxicity of selenium in the body. Next trace element is a molybdenum. Okay, so molybdenum we are getting from the whole grains and the legumes. The function of molybdenum is the formation of the uric acids. Okay, for the formation of the uric acids we are required the molybdenum, and the deficiency is not observed in the human beings.